Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste. This evening we're going to talk about the 16 initiations. And there are many times that we can take initiations and many ways that we can take initiations. But traditionally, first of all, we approach a guru and we say, hey, I like your bhavana. I like your style. I like your grace. I like the way you do things. And I'd like to do some more of that in my life. Would you give me initiation in the Guru Mantra? So the first step would be initiation in the Guru Mantra. And that's the mantra that your guru feels is appropriate for your relationship. Now, every guru has his or her own tradition. And that's really the scope of knowledge of which he's qualified to give initiation in. I wouldn't want to give you initiation necessarily in a Vaishnava mantra because I'm a Shakta or a Shaiva. And so I come from the tradition of Shiva and Shakti. I don't practice regularly the Vaishnava traditions with the exception of the Sundarkand. I really love to sing that. But generally, I probably would not give a Krishna mantra except that Krishna and Kali share the same bijas. So you would take initiation from the guru in the tradition of the guru, in the mantra from that tradition which she feels is appropriate for you. Now, in the Devi Mandir, we say, there's an old proverb that says, Pali Siksha Tapar Diksha. And what it means is, before you can plant a seed, you have to plow the land. You have to mix the fertilizer. You have to cultivate and water and prepare the soil, add amendments if necessary, add fertilizers if necessary, and thereafter we can plant a seed. So before you take the Guru mantra, the Guru will tell you Probably she will say, first learn about our tradition. First learn about our practices. First learn about what it is that we're doing that you want to emulate in your life. And then we will perfect that relationship with the planting of the seed. Guru becomes the gardener. The disciple becomes the field. And the Bij mantra, the Guru mantra, becomes the plant, the new sapling that you're planting in that field. So we take the Guru mantra and we take the knowledge, we take the tradition, we learn about the Rishi, we learn about the Chondo, and we learn about the Devta, which Rishi, which lineage, from which lineage did this knowledge descend? In which meter did this mantra come forth? And in praise of what Deva or what Devi is this mantra? So this Rishi, Chondo, and Devta is part of the Bini Yoga. And that is the application of this mantra. Remember the definition of mantra is mantrayate, that which takes away your mind. So the objective of taking the mantra is to give up my mind. And I want to give it by contemplating the history. I want to know the philosophy. I want to know the deities. I want to know in what scriptures this is coming from. I want to see how it's applied in the life of my guru, who is my example. And remember, gu karas twanda karascha, ru kara Tejas Uchate. The Guru is the illumination of the light in my darkness. She is the example of perfection to me in my striving for perfection in every activity that I'm performing. So now I want to give up my mind, and that means all of my egoism, all of my attachments, all of my selfishness. I'm going to give that up in mantra. Taking away my mind. So the first initiation is a guru mantra, and she will determine when that is appropriate, when it is necessary. How much should we study before we get a mantra? I know there are many devotees who think that the more mantras they collect, the more initiations they get, the more spiritually evolved they are. And that is not quite true. Really, what's true is how deep can you go? How much can you be ready to receive? I remember Girish Ghosh went to Ramakrishna. He said, give me the mantra that you gave to Vivekananda. And you touched him, he went into samadhi. Ramakrishna said, Girish, first you become Vivekananda, and then I'll give you the mantra. So it's not about collecting, it's not about quantity, it's about the quality of the relationship. How deeply have you let her into your heart? How deeply can she claim that as her own? Remember, Shree Ma's ashram is as large as is your heart. So if you've really given her the ashram, then she can give you the mantra. Oftentimes, after we receive a mantra, we receive a japamala. And remember, we receive the mantras for purifying the mala. And this is a second initiation. You get a mala, you get the mala of your tradition. If you're in Vaishnava tradition, you'll take a Tulsi mala. If you're in Shaiva tradition, you'll take a Rudraksha mala. If you're in Shakta tradition, you can have a Rudraksha or a Rakta Chandan, or red sandal. Or in every other tradition, there are various forms of the mala, which some take sphatik malas, that's a crystal mala. Some take a mukt, a mala of pearls. Every tradition has its own malas, and we would give a Rudraksha mala because that's what is dearest to my heart. Probably Srimat too. I knew it was love at first sight when I saw her wearing Rudraksha, because I wasn't looking for a lady decked out in gold and silver jewelry. I couldn't afford that on a sannyasi's salary. So when I saw she was wearing Rudraksha malas, I saw that she was a lady that I could really respect and grow close to. So remember the mala, the mantra for the mala purification. Mang male mahamaye sarva shakti swarupini chatur bargas tvayinas tasmana me siddhida baba. And I'm going to ask you, hey, my mala, you are the great embodiment of all of the measurement of consciousness. You contain within, as your intrinsic nature, all the energy of the universe, because when I focus on the mala, I'm not thinking about the universe. I'm not thinking about anything outside the confines of me and my mala and my mantra. And the guru, the devata, the rishi, the chanda, these are the objects of my contemplation. Sarva shakti swarupini, you have the intrinsic nature of all the energy of the universe. Chatur Barkas, you will fulfill the four aims of manifesting in existence: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That means the highest ideals of perfection, the physical resources necessary to maintain that ideal, the cessation or fulfillment or riddance of all other desires. And when those three are in harmony, the fourth is its effect. That is the accomplishment. That is the definition. I have reached the highest Dharma. I have attained just those resources, not too much, not too little, what is necessary for me to maintain that ideal. I have no other desire, and that is moksha, liberation, otherwise known as self-realization. Chaturvargas twayinastas tasmaname siddhidababa, and therefore I'm requesting you to give me siddhi. Give me the perfection, the attainment of perfection by rubbing your beads. So that is the mala, the initiation with the japa mala. A third initiation, often male sadhus take, is the initiation of the lion cloth or loin cloth. They gird your lions in a sadhu way. It's a very cheap form of sadhu underwear. I'm sure Calvin Klein won't be threatened by us. It's a way of wearing your underwear with mantra. Shaka, shaka, bhujakoshi, shakoshi, mama indriyoshi. That is, my friend, you like the skin of the snake holds and supports all the innards of the snake in sakoshi mama indriyoshi. In the same way you prepare for me my organs, you hold them aloft, you protect us. Protect our organs, protect our purity, protect our chastity, protect our purity of desire, protect us physically and protect us mentally. Don't let my organs get me into trouble. Let me use them in such a way as I don't get into trouble. I've got enough to deal with as it is right now. And so we take initiation in the wearing of the loincloth. We take initiation in yantra. Now, mantra, yantra, and tantra, all three go together. Yantra is an intellectual concept embodied in a graphical design. It's the embodiment of philosophy. Mantrayate, that is the intuitive experience. And tantra is the practical application. What do? How do you sit? What mudra do you use? Where do you put the flowers? How do you say the mantra? How do you breathe? What kriya do you perform? So tantra is, you remember the warp and the woof of a cloth. It means to weave. Tantra, actually, the etymology of the word means to weave. And here we weave together all of the aspects of our discipline, our asana, our pranayam, the meaning of the mantra, the intellectual meaning of the mantra, the intuitive meaning of the mantra, the padoti, the astrology. Remember, when we study Sanskrit, we're going to study 6 subjects. We have vyakaran, grammar, ucharan, pronunciation, darshan shastra, philosophy, itihas and sahitya, one subject, history and literature. We only know the history by studying the literature. Jyotish, astrology, what time do we do what puja, where, when, why? And padoti, which is another word for tantra. Padoti is how do you weave all of these disciplines together in order to make one offering of our devotion in a pure and clear and understandable way. This is the tantra. Now, tantra, we are weaving together all the aspects of all the knowledge we have of our Sanskrit studies so that we can look at the geometrical design, which is the yantra, and the yantra is going to bring us to the intuitive cognition of the mantra. Mantra, yantra, and tantra, all three are contained in the Vedas. They're all three present. Now, it was in later philosophy and later works we separated and said, take a separate initiation in the mantra, take a separate initiation in the yantra. And we're going to have a third initiation in the tantra. And you'll learn the mantra of your yantra. Every discipline has its own special yantra. I teach the Chandi yantra. It's a form of Shree chakra yantra, but it doesn't have the 36 triangles. And I don't teach the Shree chakra yantra because that's not the one I practice with. I practice what I preach. Or I teach what I practice. So I can tell you about the Sri Chakra Meru Yantra, but I practice the Chandi Yantra. And the mantra of the yantra says, Yantra Rajaya Vidmahe, Mahayantraya Dhimake, Tano Yantra Prachodayat. And it means, hey, you are the king of all the yantras. I'm meditating upon the king of all the mantras. Mahayantraya Dhimaki. I'm contemplating this great yantra. Tano yantra. May this yantra give us continuous increase. And may it bless us. May it give us the realization of the knowledge that we want. And then I usually say the Chandi Gayatri. Om Chandikaya Vidmahe, Triparaya Vidmahe, Tano Durgi Prachodayat. And Oming with the sound of wisdom, with the sound of creation. A is the beginning of creation. E is the causal body of creation. Anuswar is the perfection of the beginning, from beginning to end, from the commencement to the terminus. The perfection of wisdom, that's all contained within all our intuitive knowledge. That's the sound of wisdom. It's the sound of creation. It's the sound of the causal body in perfection in creation. Of Hing Chandikaya Dividamake. We know that Goddess Chandi, who manifests all the wisdom of the creation. Triparaya, she resides in the three cities, the gross body, the subtle body, the causal body, Marine, claim all the threes, Kamakala. She is in all the threes, in Auma, Srishti, Stiti, Loy, creation, preservation, transformation, in Sattarajatama, Amrim, Kling. We meditate upon her. Tano Durgi, may that reliever of difficulties, Channa Tano Chandi, Prachodaya, continuous rising, continuous increase. May she continue to make us grow and grow and grow. And with that, we establish the yantra. There's a vidhi for the yantra in the cosmic puja. It will tell you how you use the roadmap in the yantra, and then you put that outside. You put that inside you. Every deity sits on a yantra, and you use avahon, and you invite her to sit on the yantra. Stop on, and you make her sit on the yantra. Sani Rudashya Sani Hita Baba. This is I'm binding you to please forgive me. I'm calling you. I know everybody in the world is calling you, but I'm calling you in Sanskrit. I'm calling you in the temple. I'm calling you in my heart. I'm calling you with sincerity. I'm calling you with all of my devotion. Please pay attention to me. Forgive me for any inconvenience this creates for you. But I want to tell you, Atma Samarpan. And these are the mudras. I surrender my soul to you. These are the meanings of the mudras which go with the yantra. So when you establish the deity on the yantra, you'll take initiation in the yantra, in the practice of the yantra, in the use of the yantra. Om Darshakta Indamo Kurmaya Demo Nantaya Demo Pritibya Demo Kshuras Mudraya Demo Shweta Dipaya Demo Bani Mandapaya Demo Kalpa Brikshaya Demo Mani Vedikaya Demo Rata Singhasanaya Demo. And you'll put that yantra on your chest so she can sit on your chest, and then you become Shiva, and she is Shakti, dancing on the stage of consciousness. All we can see is the dance of nature dancing on the stage of consciousness. Every deity sits on a yantra, and so does our goddess. And so if we take initiation in the yantra. Now, next comes the initiation, the puja padoti, in the entire system of worship. This is the tantra, this is the padoti, so we learned Vyakaran, we learned Ucharan, we learned Darshan Shastra, we learned Itihasa Hitya, we learned Jyotish, and now we learn padoti. And the puja padoti is the system of worship. How do you merge all of your knowledge into one offering of devotion? How do you unite knowledge in devotion? This is the synthesis. This is the puja. It tells you who did it before, why they did it, what they got when they did it, how did they do it, what time did they do it, where did they do it, how did they sit, how did they breathe, what kriya did they show, what mudra did they show, how did they pronounce the mantra, what did it mean, and what did they find when they got it. And I'm doing the same thing too. Now, Ma, I know you're not pakshpat. I know you're not prejudiced to one side or the other, and you have no favoritism amongst your children. If you gave them the boon, then certainly you're going to give it to little old me, aren't you? Thank you. And that's the padoti. Now, after we learn the puja, Maha Puja is yajna. Yajna padoti that comes next. So we'll take initiation on how to do the yajna. And you've got the yantra, you've got the tantra, you've got the yajna, where you unite. You see, the fire burning in the Havan Kund is the reflection of the light burning in my Agya chakra, the light of meditation, the light of wisdom. As bright as I can make this fire grow, so bright is the objective measurement of my inner light. And the yajna comes from the root yuj, to unite. The union between the two lights, the two fires, is the yajna. Yajna means to unite. It's the same root as yoga. And so when I can create this bond of union between the inner light and the outer light, and offer all the love in my heart to that outer light, my inner light grows brighter. And offer all the iniquities and all the confusions and all the dilemmas and all the problems, all the difficulties, it'll have them burn into ashes, and all I have left is the illumination. So that's the initiation, the yajna padoti. We're ultimately going to take initiation in a specific shastra. And we're going to learn you're going to learn many scriptures. I've translated a whole bunch of myself. I think we could spend a long time. We have. Gee, the last few years we've been doing classes on all the different scriptures, including the ones that we're doing right now. And these scriptures, ultimately, we're going to favor one. And that will be the one we do something from every day. That'll be our nitya karma padoti. The puja padoti that we do, the yajna padoti that we do, the guru mantra that we do japa, the establishment of our yantra, when we put on our japa mala or wear our loincloth, in these ways we have a part of our our tradition will be, I've got my Mool Shastra, which is in praise of my Ishta Deva or Ishta Devi. And that's my chosen goddess, my chosen form of divinity that I choose to sit with daily. And now I've taken initiation. I've learned this scripture. I'm following the tradition of my guru. I fall in love with the same form of worship and the same attitude of worship and the same system of worship. Now, as we go deeper into the tradition with a particular scripture, we move into, we take initiation in the traditions of our sampradaya. For example, we are of the Saraswati Sampradaya. We're a member of Dashnami. We are sannyasis. So we would learn about, my name is Nanda Saraswati. And Saraswati is the name of the tribe, the sannyasis. Remember, Bharati, Puri, Giri, Saraswati, Ban, Aranya, Parbat, Tirth, Sagar, and Nath. These are the 10 tribes of sannyasis that descended from Shankaracharya. These are the 10 tribes. And remember, the Boiragis have their tribes, and the Brahmacharis have their tribes, and there are so many different distinctions in the order that we've taken initiation through. So we're going to want to take initiation in the traditions of our order. Oh, what of the Vedas are we descended from? Where is our Moolastan? Where is our root? Where do we sink our roots? Where does our tradition emanate from? How does so all of these will come into the initiation in the Sampradaya. The history of our Sampradaya, the Shaka, the Gotra of our Sampradaya, the branch, these are all important. We'll take initiation in asan. And remember, there are 2 primary asanas that we get, either Padmasan or Swastik or Siddhasan. I'm of the Swastik asan tradition. And we learn how do we sit in that asan, and we take initiation in it, and we get empowered by it. And our guru shows us how to sit, and how to sit more comfortably, and how to sit longer, and she will give us that tradition so that we become still. Remember, every movement of the body is a reflection of the movement of the mind. In order to hold the mind sit still, you can't grab onto the thoughts as easily as you can grab onto the body. So if the mind says, move, body, the body says, no, I'm fixed, I'm sitting still. Now, it becomes the opposite path. By control of the body, we control the mind. By control of the gross body, we control the subtle body. By control of the subtle body, we move to the causal body. And by control of the causal body, we move to Turiya, that which is beyond. We will take initiation in a kavach, in an armor of our tradition. Now, in our tradition, we use the Devi kavach, and we establish the deities of our kavach throughout the centers of our body, so that we have the mantra within, and we're protected from without. No anemical energies can permeate our suit of armor. We've got her inside, we've got her vibration inside. Nobody's antithetical vibration can throw us off our center. And then we become a Swami or Swamini. So we get initiation or authorization as a teacher. And there are 2 authorizations that we get as a teacher, as a Swami. The first comes from the Guru, says you are authorized to teach. And the more important one comes from the disciple that says you have something I want to learn. So there are 2 initiations as a Swami. One as it says, hey, please go out and spread this. Go out and share this. And the other from the students who say, hey, I want to learn this. So that's the more important initiation. Along with being a Swami, you get initiation in a danda or a chamta. A chamta is fire tongs, so you can perform your yagya. And there are four things, articles that are the personal possession of a Swami. Chamtas, or fire tongs, loincloth, yantra, and an asana. Nobody has the authority to touch those things without specific authority. They have without being ordered to do so, requested to do so. No one has the authority to do so. So either you carry a danda as a danda Swami, or you carry a chamta because you move the fire. These are the personal property of the Swami. As Swamis evolve, they become a sant. And a sant is a teacher of teachers. So a sant is one step above the Swami in that he or she is highly regarded as a teacher of teachers, evolves into a mahunt. A mahunt is the head of an ashram. And then a mandaleshwar is the head of a number of ashrams. And then we become initiated as a mandaleshwar, which is, in addition to the administration of many ashrams, he or she is engaged in setting policy for national and international world Hindu organizations. And those are the 16 initiations as we evolve through our spiritual course. So we're given authority in initiation. We are given the authority for certain practices. I'd like to answer a few questions now about the initiations in sadhu life. Here's a question from Rami Mami. Namaste, Rami. Namaste, Srini Baba. Are these initiations sequential? Does every sadhu have to go through all 16 of them? No. But many of them you will want to take initiation. You want, of course, you want to have a mala, you want to have an asana, you want to have a guru mantra, you want to have have a specific shastra, a puja padoti. All of these initiations you will want to have. But they're not necessarily sequential. Someone may learn how to sit before they learn the Guru's mantra. Someone may may wear a mala before they have an asana. So they are not necessarily a chronology in order. Does sannyas establishment in truth imply oneness with divine all the time? That's the goal. It implies it. However, in practical application, it's not necessarily true. We would love to be there. But that's the goal, is to always be in that harmony and that unity with God. And that's why we live a life so that we don't cultivate attachments. We don't cultivate stagnation. We continue to grow, and we continue to learn, and we continue to teach and to share and to move from place to place so that we don't cultivate such relationships that bind us. They set us free. Can you have different gurus giving different initiations? Absolutely. You remember Dasharatha went to Vashishta and said, I want to have children perform the yagya for me to have children. Vashishta said, no, I don't do that yagya. Go see Rishi Shree. Rishi Shree, he'll perform the yagya. But go in all humility and ask him like you would, you're being blessed with the presence of a great man. And so that's how Dasharatha got the yajna performed for his children. Absolutely, it's not necessary that you take initiation only from one guru. You'll take initiation in one tradition from one guru, but there's so much to learn. It is traditional for every sannyasi to have several gurus. Abdut writes his story that he had 24 gurus. And he learned from so many different beings. He learned from the bok, crane, and he learned from the fish, and he learned from the fisherman, and he learned from so many different people were his gurus, and he respected them all. You see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had so many different gurus. He was a Nyaya philosopher. He studied logic and wrote great treatises on logic, and then he threw them all in the river and became a devotee. And he had so many different gurus in his transformation process. Mother asked if it's traditional that there's one guru and all others are upagurus. They're near gurus or almost gurus. And that also is true. There is one diksha guru who gave me the mool mantra of my tradition. And that tradition, that mool mantra becomes the inhalation for the shastra that I perform. So when I breathe, my mool mantra is Navarna mantra. Om Ing Ring Kling Chamunda Gebichai. Now when I inhale, and when I exhale, I recite the scripture. Om Sabani Suryatana Yo Yomarukata Testama Nishamaka Drupatin Bisragada Tomama Mahamaya Prabhavida Yathapam Patradipa Zabuba Bakavaga Sabani Suryato the Bay. So the mool mantra is always with me. The mool guru is always with me. The guru mantra is part of my soul. It's part of my fabric. It's part of my breath. It's part of every scripture that I recite, because by virtue of the fact that I inhale the mool mantra, no matter what I do. I've been doing it for a long time. So if I do the Sundarkand, I still breathe. So yes, there is one guru, but many upagurus, and the guru that teaches you and inspires you and leads you to knowledge and sets you free, that is your mool guru. And all the others are upagurus, and they are the guru that gave you the knowledge, that gave you the understanding, that showed you how to do the various processes. What should be our attitude towards all our gurus? Namaste, Dhanyavad, thank you so much. I can't begin to express the sincerity of my appreciation for your having come into my life, that you gave me even one letter of the knowledge of Brahman, and that I can use the knowledge that you gave to me to progress along my path. I thank you. I demonstrate my appreciation. I give you my dakshina, I give you my offering, I give you my thanks, and I want to become a reflection of the greatness of your example in the way that you taught me. Is there a hierarchy based on the level and nature of initiation given? No, all the gurus are one. They're all reflections of Shiva. However, your mool guru who gave you the guru mantra, who gave you your shastra and your padoti and your tradition, gave you the deity, she will remain special amongst all the gurus. However, they're all gurus. They're all Shiva. They're all reflections of the highest the highest ideal of perfection, but one guru stands amongst them all. And I just love her. And I respect her. And I want to make myself into the reflection of the greatness that she exemplifies to me. And that qualifies me to be her disciple. Here's a question from Ambika. Namaste Ambika Ma, Namaste Sham. Does the guru decide when one is ready for each initiation? Can the student request an initiation? The student can request, yes, but the student requests through the attitude of her actions. She doesn't come to the guru and say, okay, give me the mantra now. She comes to the guru and says, look at my puja. Can I make it better? Can I make it brighter? Can I make it longer? Can I make it stronger? What can I do? Can I show you? The guru sees. He knows by the questions that you ask where you are in your process. She knows when it's appropriate to give which mantra, when it's appropriate to guide you to the next step. So in this way, the guru generally knows. But we, as disciples, will want to demonstrate to the guru how ready we are. I want the guru to see me at my best all the time I possibly can. And then she will decide when I'm ready to evolve. Based on the series of initiations and the order in which they are presented, it appears to me that one must be a full-fledged sadhu before becoming a sannyas. Is that true? Yes, 100% correct. Sadhu means efficient. And I want to be efficient before I go out to teach. I want to know my material myself before I go out and tell other people how they should be doing it. If I'm not really in love with God, how can I tell my students to be in love with God? A little bit shaky there. If I don't know where to put the flowers, why should I hold the class and say, okay, everybody, put the flowers down? If I don't know what I'm doing, why don't I go to the guru and say, could you teach me the right way to do this? I have a doubt. Am I doing it correctly or not? Could you tell me if this, could you show me the correct way to do it? Could you make suggestions for the perfection of my system of worship? Instead of going out and saying, okay, I want to be the teacher now. I'm ready to teach. And taking the initiation of on your own accord, that's not what we're looking to do. I know everybody's looking for some way to make money and some way to get respect. But being a spiritual teacher is not the way, I promise you. That's not going to do it for you. So, yes, it is important that we become sadhu before we try to take sannyas. As a female householder, the loincloth initiation seems a bit extreme. Maybe. However, is there something I could wear underneath my clothing, perhaps, that would be symbolic of this initiation to serve as a reminder and awareness? No, wear it on your heart. Wear it on your heart. It doesn't need to be an article of clothing. It doesn't need to be a specific tradition that you're initiating. Wear it on your heart and say, hey, I'm reserved for, I'm a female householder, I'm reserved for one man, and I've got a relationship with that man, and that's the purity and clarity with which I'm going to organize my life. And one of our marital vows was, I will regard no man other than you. So now, that if you keep that in your heart, then it shouldn't be an issue. How is an asan an initiation? It sounds more like a sankalpa to me. It is not, do you know what? When we learn the asana, we learn the mantras of purifying your asana. Om asanasya mantrasya meru krishna rishi shutalam chanda kurma devata asano paveshane bini yoga etiganda pushpe om ring Adara Shaktagi Kavalasanaga Namaha Om Pritvitvaya Drita Loka David Tvam Vishnu Nadrita Tvam Chadarya Mandityam Pavitram Guru Chasanam. I'm making this asana pure. I'm following the tradition of my gurus. Om Guru Vyandama Om Param Guru Vyandama Om Para Paro Guru Vyandama Om Parameshti Guru Vyandama Om Gangedeshayandama Om Nantayandama Ring Pancham Om Namah Shivaya.
Powerful.
It is an initiation. I mean, it's not just we're not talking about hatha yoga. We're not talking about just I gotta park my carcass on this seat. This is part of my anatomy. This is the Meru Prishta Rishi. It's going to support my Meru Danda. It's going to support my backbone. I feel this asana coming up from the floor. It goes right up my backbone and it keeps me sitting straight. So in that way, it is an asana. It becomes a sankalpa after we take initiation in the asana. Then we decide, now is my time to sit in the asana. Swamiji, you have taught us which specific asanas are best to sit in. With all due respect, other traditions such as Buddhism, for example, suggest sitting in seiza. Is one better, one more effective than the other? No, Buddha reached enlightenment laying down. You see Vishnu sleeping on his couch. It's not important. It is important for us in our tradition to sit in an asana because we believe that meditation means sitting still. And so that's part of our process of yoga. Chitta vritti nirodh iti yoga. The prohibition of all changes and modifications in the objects of awareness is the completion, the fulfillment, the culmination of yoga, of union. And so that culmination, that perfection means that we're going to have a cessation of all modifications in the objects of awareness. And if I'm moving, I'm aware of movement, and there's a modification, there's a change. So I want to sit in a posture which I can put my body in and leave it there. So the objective is for our tradition to achieve that asana. Remember, in Ashtanga Yoga, we have yam. Organize your life, take control, make your plan. Niyam, make your discipline. Asana, sit yourself down. Put your body into a harmony from which it will not want to move. So there are various asanas in various traditions. We agree, we accept, and we respect. Here's one more question. When I chant the Chandikawach, is this the same as initiating myself, or is there an initiation that the Guru gives that is more permanent? You know, this is practicing and getting ready for the initiation. The initiation will come when you are ready to feel the goddesses sitting in the various places in your body. Sikabodhyoti virakshi rubabhati vyapastita baladari lalaticha rubo rechetya shastradi trinetra trubavadye yaviganchatandasike. In various places in your body, when you touch those places, when you say those mantras, when you feel those goddesses there, then you've taken the initiation. Merely chanting is the first step, but understanding is the second step. feeling them come alive and awakening when you call out their names is the third step. And then we get initiation. So it's not quite the same. The initiation given by the guru can awaken those mantras and awaken those devis, awaken those goddesses that are chanting, that are residing in these places. And rather than just chanting it and calling off their names and going on to the next chant, we're going to understand what we're saying. And we're going to feel them and acknowledge them and bow to them. And in the appropriate way, our body will become illuminated by them. Please describe the differences and benefits between reciting mantras or wearing an amulet for a kavach. Does the guru decide which one would be best? Are there different amulets for different deities? Yes, there are. And these are physical kavachas, they are amulets, they are protective things. However, in the Bhagavad it says that the devas get siddhi from drinking somras. That means all the gods and goddesses get their perfected attainment by drinking the nectar of devotion. The rishis get their siddhi by tapasya. All the rishis get their attainment by performing austerities and strict spiritual disciplines. And the asuras get their siddhis by kavachas and ratna moni. And that means the asuras wear rings with precious stones and jewels, and they put on kavach. So one is tamasic, one is rajasic, and one is sattvic. Of course, drinking the nectar of devotion is sattvic. Performing spiritual austerities in tapasya is rajasic. There's activity. And tamasic says, I'm going to put something on external so that I can remember from time to time, whenever I look at that jewel on my finger, I will remember that I'm supposed to be a spiritual person.
Or that stone is protecting me.
That stone is protecting me. There's a power in the stone, there's a power in the amulet that's protecting me. There is. And it will. But to what extent? To what intensity? To what degree of sincerity? How much attention do you put it on, and then it's an object, it becomes an adornment. It ceases to maintain that real flavor that when you perform tapasya, it's with you. When you drink the nectar of devotion, you see how she carries herself. So those are the three different ways in which we have, those are the different ways in which the amulets or protection is afforded. Now, the guru decides which one will be best. If you have an astrologer guru, he'll definitely say, buy this stone. Or wear this amulet. If you have a sadhana guru, she will definitely say, come here and sing the chandi with us. If you have a divine guru, she'll say, sit back and drink the nectar of devotion and just enjoy the bliss of communion because of your devotion. So these are the different kinds of amulets for different deities. We make in our tradition, Ma came from Kamakya. I spent a lot of time in Kamakya. We make the amulet. It's a locket with the Kamakya Bij mantras and the Rakta Bastra from Kamakya that we get every year sent from the priests of Kamakya. Because Shree is so highly regarded there, they send us every year a piece of Rakta Bastra, and we use that for the preparation of amulets. Also, there's a snake cloth. If you find a snake and you place a red cloth, a brand new piece of red cloth in its path, if the snake crosses over the path, and then you take that cloth that has been crossed over by the snake, you make puja with it, and then you cut that up, and that is particularly effective in the worship of Mahalakshmi. It brings certain blessings of wealth and health. And the Raktabastra brings success in every endeavor that one strives for. We use the Birja Patra. Birja Patra is the bark of the birch tree. It's a kind of tree. I mean, you know the birch tree. There's a quality of birch tree that grows in the Himalayas that is used. It's a little bit different from the New England birch. And the bark peels off and it becomes as thin as papyrus, and you can write on that bark and fold it very, very thin. We put it into a capsule or a locket with auspicious ingredients like tulsi pata and the Raktabastra, some rice, perfume, flowers, and we put that on the yantra, and we make pran pratishta to the locket, and then you have a kavach. And you can wear it on your neck, you can wear it on your right forearm, you can wear it around the katibanda, around your waist.
In olden time, Bijapatra was the paper.
Yeah, Mother says in olden times, Birja Patra was paper. They used various forms of leaves and bark in order to write the mantras on. And you can make a kavach for every different deity, and of course it'll have a different tradition, how to prepare. Here's a question: how is a danda or chamta a symbol of our dedication to our dharma? If the rules are you never let go of your chamta or your danda. So you always have a symbol of your dharma. The danda is the club, the stick with which you're going to chase away all that is inimical, all that is antithetical, all that is hostile to your dharma. Anything that doesn't quite fit in, it gets beaten by the stick. Chamtas moves your yagya fire. So you always have a symbol that I am yagya Swami in your hand. You carry that. And what puja can be, that completes all of our questions on the 16 initiations. And we have just run out of time. We have less than a minute left. Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.
Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Namaste, Babaji.